Welcome to another edition of the Nightly Nugent. When we ended our last edition, we were talking about taxes, and you said you were going to run off and get a blowtorch just to blow some money up. Obviously, that kind of gives our viewers your take on how wisely our tax dollars are being spent. But you said you would elaborate. Please do.
Well, you know, as I talk about the exploding crime wave in America, I've coined a phrase, and it's called engineered recidivism. I'm pretty good for the author of Wango Tango to encapsulate the righteous overview of certain strange policies in the world. So if we wanted to end the high crime explosion, we would just end the engineered recidivism of the repeat or offending orgy out there. Now we're going to talk about the crime of the Internal Revenue Service. We'll talk about the anti-American crime of the bloated bureaucracies of America, the BBA. Everybody write down this word in all capital letters, bloated. Not just the people I see shopping wearing a mask, walking across a parking lot, wearing a mask, weighing 350 pounds like a pod of sperm whales lost in the distance. Not just that level of bloatedness, but that every arm of our government, every bureaucracy in the United States of America, and I won't regurgitate the alphabet soup of bloated bureaucracies of America. In a nutshell, with just a modicum of study of the painful information and evidence, and if you research it too much, you will get a headache because it's so wrong. It's so indecent. It's so counterproductive to the Founding Fathers' establishment of an experiment in self-government where we, the people, are supposed to be in charge of our own destiny and hire elected employees to represent us based on the self-evident truth found in the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Every agency, every bureaucracy, every arm of government will just bring in tandem gravel scows loaded with hard-earned tax dollars and call in an airstrike and just torch the hardest earned dollars by hardworking Americans. And if the government was in charge of my tour, which, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and celebrate, 2022, Uncle Ted with flames coming out of my ass of real rhythm and blues and rock and roll, with Jason Hartless on drums and Greg Smith on bass guitar and the best crew and the best guitar tones and the best sound in the world. We're going on tour, and I have the most efficient gang of professionals. My crew is the most sought after crew in the world. When I don't tour during the 9-month hunting season, the greatest artists in the world, from Metallica and Kid Rock and Paul McCartney and Billy Joel, you name ZZ Top, you name the greatest touring acts in the world, they use the Ted Nugent team. Because if you graduate from the Ted Nugent band or the Ted Nugent crew, you do the job of 20 Thors. My point is, the IRS, the U.S. government tax scam, if the U.S. government was in charge of my tour, instead of just having 12 of the most efficient, hardworking, professional, cocked, and ready to rock crew members, the government would hire 1,200 of them, because one guy would be in charge of the guitar cable, and another guy would be in charge of the bass cable, and another guy would be in charge of the bass strings, and another guy would be in charge of the cymbals, and another guy would be in charge of the broom, and another guy would be in charge of the speaker cabinet. 12 guys doing the job of thousands of government employees, because as a head of a household and an entrepreneur, rock solid in the asset column, because I'm conscientious and frugal. I think when you become a government employee, you have to go to your Webster's dictionary and eradicate the word conscientious and frugal. The IRS are money-burning, hard-working America hurting bureaucrats who have no sense of consciousness, no sense of responsibility, are allergic to the term frugal, and just like to blowtorch mom and pop America's hard-earned tax dollars. Shame on the IRS. Shame on Uncle Sam. These bureaucrats are the bloated bureaucrats of America. We need change now because the alternative is not going to be pretty. Does that sound like a threat? Take it as you see it. But shame on the system that punishes good, innocent people and rewards the worst amongst us. Case closed.
I would just like to remind our listeners that each and every one of you can make a difference by voting. Go to huntthevote.org, huntthevote.org. Don't set these midterm elections out, whether it's a school board race in your own town or all the way up to Congress or Senate. Your vote matters. Good people can take this country back at the ballot box. Come back tomorrow and we'll talk a little music with the Motor City Madman, Ted Nugent.